Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Hi, good morning and good afternoon and good evening to everyone. So I'm Koji MURAI. I'm attending this seminar from Osaka, Japan. Today, my topic is how to register your patent in the most cost-effective and time-efficient ways in Japan. So I will talk about what you may and may not know about a patent in Japan. To talk about this topic, I divided first, I will talk about a cost-effective way in Japan and time-efficient way in Japan. So I divided today's seminar into two major issues. First, cost-effective ways. I will touch available cost, what JPO offer cost reduction, and tips to overcome office action. So let me go with our available cost reduction system in Japan first. Before talking about actual cost reduction system, I'd like to share with you JPO's basic examination flow chart. This is a basic flow chart. So first, I'm not sure how many people actually filed application or patent application in Japan. Just for your information, Japan, we do not use English. However, regarding the patent, our English document or other language documents are acceptable to file. However, translation need to be filed within 16 months, so 1 year and 4 months. So if you file application in Japanese, official fee is about $100 USD. But in case of foreign language application, official fee is about USD 160. So up to your situation, please choose. So if you do not have enough time or you need more time for prepare proper Japanese document, I suggest you consider to file your English or some other languages document directly. So, okay, let me go to the examination flow chart. So I know some country do not, some country or some IPO authority will examine without the request, but JP or Japan Patent Office will not conduct a substantive examination without a request. So please keep in mind, you have to request for examination. Otherwise, you cannot get patent. So request for examination have to be filed within 3 years. 3 years will be counted from filing date in Japan, no matter you claim the priority in other countries or not. So after filing in Japan, within 3 years, you have to request for examination. In case of PCT, filing international application date will be the counting point or counting date. So as I mentioned, if you do not request for examination, your application will be deemed to withdrawal. So please make sure you request for examination in Japan. So request for substantive examination cost basically USD 1,000 and are according to the number of the claims. So these are not so super expensive, but the JPO offers cost reduction to some applicants. And patent fees, annuities, also JPO offers some cost reduction and for 10 years. Cost reduction depends on your conditions So any of them. So all the fees might be exempt or might be reduced to half or might be reduced to 1/3. However, I assume nobody's working for Japanese National University. So actually, I will talk about you are entitled to reduce these fees to half or 1/3. Basically, JPR give the privilege to SMEs and individual business owners and some startup companies and researchers and institutions. So I'm not sure how many people have seen this table, but please check if you might be able to have a chance to get a cost reduction, half or 1/3. And just small and medium-sized enterprise are categorized into this table, depends on your industries. And JPR simply checked number of employees or capitals. So not so complicated. If you apply, if your company or your client fall in any of these are SMEs, you would be able to get a cost reduction half or 1/3. And next, I would like to talk tips to overcome office action, basically, office actions. So as you know, a lot of applicants spend money and time to overcome office actions. So I'd like to show you the basic Japanese office actions. So as I mentioned, first you have to request for examination to have JPR or proceed with substantive examination. So if you get a decision to grant a patent, no office acts no issues, but most of the patent will get the office actions, rejections or refusal. So especially, I'm not when we work with the client, some clients seem like they stick to their local practice. So please understand, our practice might be different from yours. The first office action when you get. So you can amend or your amendment have to or need to be supported by the disclosure of applicant originally filed. And shift amendment is not allowed. So please pay attention to that. So basically, you might get 3 types of result. First one is if you fail to overcome rejection in the first OA, decision of refusal. So to seek the protection or to get patent, you need to go to the appeal board. If response overcomes rejections in the first office action, but amend claim are not still allowable, in that case, you'll get final office actions. So examiners are saying, and even you overcome rejection in the first office action, if examiner find another or new rejections, non-final, second office action you will get. So please understand, some clients expect non-final office actions, but non-final office actions, to get a non-final office action, you need to overcome rejection in the first office action. Otherwise, you may get the refusal or final office action. So JPO would not give you many opportunities or many office actions. So to overcome office actions, some clients are reluctant to make an amendment of the office amendment. So some say argument only. But in most cases, it's not so easy to overcome rejections. In such a case, you get a decision of refusal. JPO would not give another opportunity. So when you make argument only, please make sure you can overcome rejections. Otherwise, your patent will be refused. So as I mentioned, rejection are overcome with amendment, but amendment claims are not allowable yet. In such a case, you get the final or non-final another office action. So depends on how to cope with those this office action. You may get a decision of refusal or you get a patent. Once you get a decision of refusal to seek patent, you have to bring the case or you have to appeal the decision. So when you appeal with argument only, so when you do not make any amendment, appeal board. So appeal board examiners, multiple examiners start examining your arguments. But after get the decision of refusal, if you make some amendment, in that case, the appeal will not go to the appeal board directly. First, former or the examiner who was in charge of the application will re-examine or reconsider the amendment. If amendment resolved objections that are before appeal goes, the application will be granted. However, if such claim amendment do not solve objections, the appeal goes to the appeal board. So in Japan, in many cases, we encourage the client to make even minor claim amendment. Of course, we do not encourage to or restrict the scope of the claims, but make sure you make amendment. Otherwise, you would get a decision or you may lose opportunity to get a patent. So this is a cost, these are the costs. So now I'd like to talk about time effective way. So how to proceed or how we suggest proceed with Japanese examination in a short way. So first are patents in Japan. So I'm not sure how many people are aware of Japanese patent. Japanese patent, or I would say JPO is relatively pro-patent or friendly to patent applicants. This is our patent rate graph. So 10 or more than 10 years ago, Japanese patent rate was around 50. At the time, people thought Japanese patent is not so easy to get a patent. But you see the recent 5 or 6 years, 75% patent are granted. So we're currently, or recent, I wouldn't say 10, but let's 5 to 6 years, really are patent applicant friendly situation. So when I see, when I pick up 5 years, so average would be 75. And our application number is about approximately 300,000 applications filed every year. And our allowance rate is around 75% annually. As I mentioned, or JPO would not proceed with substantive examination unless request was made. But 300,000 applications are filed, but most of them are requested to examination, and 70% annually patents are granted. So Japan is, as I repeatedly mentioned, patent applicant-friendly country nowadays. So I will check other countries' situation. These are USPTO, US, Japan, and Korea, and Europe, and China. According to those are database, so most of them are relatively high, except EPO, over 60% patent rates in 2016 and 2020. In Korea and Japan and USPTO, patent rate exceed 70%. So in specifically speaking, JPO keeps about 75% patent rate. So Japan, compared with major offices, Japan is easier, or according to the figures, easier to get a patent. So if you struggle with get a patent, you need to consult with local attorney. How come you have some issues? Then I'd like to talk about, okay, so you understand Japan is our applicant-friendly country, but how long it takes to get a patent in Japan. Current examination pendency is this. So JPO's target in 2023 are average first office action. They try to issue within 10 months. In 2021, they already almost get that target. But during the COVID, the examination slowed down. But by 2023, so this year, I assume they definitely will hit the target. And final decision, 15 months. So let me compare this dependency with other countries. So again, JPO, US, Europe, China, Korea. Left table shows average first office action pendency. So Japan, about a 10 month, compared with other offices, relatively quick. EPO is very, very fast. However, when you look at the right table, EPO takes almost 2 years to get a final decision. However, JPO gives a final decision 15 months. So compared with other countries, so faster, you can get the decision first, office action first or early, and final decision get first. So Japan, it would not take long to get a patent examination result in Japan. However, I understand some clients want to speed up further or need to get more patent result quicker. Then I compare with PPH and conventional accelerated examination. What is the difference and what is better than the other? So I will not or mention or explain about PPH because I assume everybody's are familiar with. So now PPH network is broad. So many countries are covered. So according to our JPO's database, current allowance rate is 76.4. That is quite high. But first office allowable, which is without any objections or rejections, only 14.3%. And average examination period is 10 months. But if you use PPH, standard PPH, allowance rate is 82.5%. And the first action allowance is 21.5. Average examination period is 2.6. I'd like to get your attention to the first allowance. So standard PPH. PPH has requested according to allowable claim. The JPO still allow the patent only 21.5% only. Do you know why? It's because no matter you claim or allowable claim in other countries, JPO itself examine itself the patent. So JPO do not simply follow the other country's decision. Therefore, first action allowance is not that high. But in case of PCT PPH, about a half, but still half percentage. Half of them will receive the office actions. So PPH definitely expedite the examination, but you still get office actions. Then I'd like to say, this is some example we actually received from the JPO. I'm not sure how many people understand Chinese characters or Japanese. This is our cited reference, list of the cited reference. JPO will cite non-patent document. You can see these two are not a patent document. So JPO will not stick to the patent document. This is another example. Two cited references are not a patent document. This one is not a patent document. And example 4, this is a final office action. In the final office action, and this document said, first office action, or according to the first office actions, application was amended. By amendment, the examiner cited these two documents. So as you see, Japanese examiners examine the document relatively broad. So they do not only check that our patent document, but also our non-patent document are their examination database. Therefore, even you use PPH, you get our office actions. Then I'd like to introduce accelerated examination. So JPO, no matter you file allow the claim, they will examine the application by itself. So Japanese conventional accelerated examination it does not require allowable claims. So you do not have to prepare allowable claims. So in that case, so this accelerated examination make you or allow you to request earlier than PPH. The requirement is corresponding foreign application. As first, you have a foreign application or corresponding foreign application, you are entitled. And also you need to have to prepare a comparison between invention and prior art for reference to the examiner. So allowable claim is not required to request accelerated examination. So this kind of case will happen. Standard PPH and PCT PPH. For example, you have application in Europe. Once you grant it, you are allowed to PPH to application in Japan. Since you have a grant, you have allowable claims. However, in case of conventional accelerated examination, say you have an application in EP, when your application pending examination, still you can request accelerated examination in Japan because accelerated examination do not require allowable claim. So accelerated examination gives you more, or how should I say, earlier time, or you can expedite the examination in Japan. Please keep in mind. So Japanese examination tendency is shorter than major shortest and among 5 major offices. Without having a allowable claim, you can ask accelerated examination, and patent rate is high in Japan. So you might have a chance to utilize Japanese patent in your home country or other countries to get a patent. Accelerated examination. So this graph shows the number of applications with accelerated examination is increasing. Therefore, examination period of pendency getting longer, but still you can expect within 3 months. And also without having an allowable claim in your home country or some other countries, you can request. So which it definitely gives you a fast, quick patent. Then some client ask us, okay, they understand allowable claim is not required, so PPH or accelerated examination can be requested before they can arrange PPH. But they ask comparison between invention and prior art. Who would prepare? This is actual document we have to prepare to request accelerated examination. These are the reference number and submission date and application number and applicant's code and name and attorney's number and name and phone number. And we need to explain that a corresponding application allows to request this accelerated examination. And comparison can be very simple. For example, in this case, in a specification, paragraph 6 describe the reference document's name. And in the specification, paragraph 4 and 5 clearly compare the technology, prior art, and this invention. This is actually when you prepare a specification or claims, you definitely compare with prior art your own invention. So simply we point out where we discuss. This is it. So accelerated examination is not so complicated procedure, very simple. Therefore, the number is increasing, and nowadays we've been requested to file accelerated examination more than before. So regarding PPHE statistics, so this is a major part. So average examination, accelerated examination takes more than PPH or PCT PPH, but it can start much earlier because allowable claim is not required. As first you have a corresponding application, you can request. So in Japan, you can get a patent faster than any other country, and also you can utilize Japanese patent to get patent in other countries, especially ASEAN countries, we believe. And here's some graphs shows which country use the grant rate, each country's grant rate. So many countries accept PPH, and so this is a basic presentation I wanted to share. So today I talked with cost reduction system in Japan. Examination is required, but examination or request fee can be deducted if, as first you if you meet some conditions. And tips overcome OA. So when you encounter or receive office action from JPR, so please do not stick to only the argument. Just minor amendment to make sure you would not get a decision of refusal. And regarding the patent pendency, among 5 major offices, USPTO and APO, Korea, China, Japan's pendency is quite shorter than other countries. And also, if you use accelerated examination, you can get the patent even though you do not get allowable claims in any other countries. So utilize Japanese patent to get a patent in other countries. That's what I taught. Okay. Thank you for your attention, and I hope my presentation helped you to get familiar with Japanese patent to some extent. And also we are happy to get some, or not some, we are happy to explain the system more detail if you are interested in. And also please contact our member offices in the world. Thank you.